Good evening. So this week we are doing our presentation from or about our research paper, our research final assignment. So what's cool for me, I think, is that this week I am filming this at Liberty University. So I'm excited to do this one. This is our fourth one for the semester. I've enjoyed doing these quite a bit. I've tried to mix up the locations and film them with just different backgrounds or in different places. And fortunately, I've been able to travel a little bit this summer and work on this. So this week, though, we're here at Liberty dropping off our daughter, who's in the marching band. So she's here a couple weeks early as they start band camp. Started today, so we've been here for a couple of days, going back home tomorrow. But I wanted to film this one here. I love this university. I love the school. I love being a part of it. I've got 1 degree from here and now working towards my PhD as well. And I just love this place, so I wanted to have this background tonight with the football stadium behind me, with the Flames, with the logo and the Liberty Flames there. So having said all that, my research project this semester is about the role of Florida in the American Revolution. So obviously we're studying the American Revolution. So I chose Florida. Florida was divided into 2 colonies at the time, West Florida and East Florida. Florida had been under Spanish rule for about 250 years until the end of the 7 years of French and Indian War. And then at the Treaty of Paris in 1763, the Spanish wanted to make sure they had lost Cuba at some point. They wanted to get Cuba back, so they made a deal with the British, basically saying, give us back Cuba and we'll give you Florida. So they did that. The British agreed to do that, and then they split Florida into 2 colonies, East Florida and West Florida. So West Florida, the primary city there was Pensacola. The East Florida, the primary city there was St. Augustine. So you had these 2 colonies that did not join the revolution. So the 13 colonies, they wanted Florida, the 2 Florida colonies to join, so we'd be talking about 15 colonies at that point. But the Florida colonies had only been under British rule for 20 years, not even 20 years at this point, right? 10 years, 20 years by the end of the war. So they were new British colonies. They were very loyal. There were a lot of military members British military members who lived in Florida, a large part of the population. So they were very loyal to the crown, and they were not willing to make that switch and join the war. So we'll talk about that in the presentation and in the paper. We'll talk about some of the battles that occurred in the Florida colonies during the war. We'll talk with some special emphasis about St. Augustine and its role in the war, because it's the oldest permanent settlement in the New World, or your permanent European settlement in the New World. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some significant characters who factored into the war, like Bernardo de Galvez, who the city of Galveston, Texas is named after. So he's a Spanish general who defeated the British at Pensacola during the war. And then, of course, after the war was over, Florida went back to being under Spanish control for about 35 or 40 years before becoming a U.S. territory. But I'm excited to do this. I love studying the state of Florida. I've read a lot of Florida history over the years, and I'm excited to kind of put all of that into this paper right here as we work on this week. Again, I've enjoyed this class. I've really enjoyed these particular discussion videos. Sometimes I hear people complain about having to do discussions, but I enjoy it because we get to interact with each other as classmates and share what we're working on and our thoughts on the different topics, and share our research with each other. And I just think that collaboration is a huge piece of what we're doing as we work on becoming professional historians and gaining a master's or a PhD in this subject. So I'm really looking forward to finishing this project over the next few days, and you guys have a great day.